Yo, what's up, boys? Today I'm going to be starting a series where I make 1 million Pokeyen by only catching, breeding, flipping, and training Magikarp and Feebas. Now let's get into the rules. I'll be starting on a fresh account named OnlyFins, where I will only be allowed to make money using Feebas and Magikarp and their evolution lines. That means I can do a gym rerun or a trainer rerun as long as I'm only using these two lines. So this means stuff like Payday Pickup or Frisk and Thief is off the table, as Gyarados and Milotic cannot do this. To stop me from going totally insane, there will be two exceptions to the rules. One is using Sweet Scent when hunting for a shiny, and two will be using Flame Body when hatching eggs. With the rules out of the way, let's talk about goals I have for the series. The overarching goal is to make 1 million Pokeyen with only Magikarp and Feebas. Another goal I have is to make a perfect Gyarados and Milotic, this being 5x31 in Natured. After that, I would like to make a 6x0 Magikarp and Feebas. And along the way, I would like to catch a wild 3x31 Magikarp, this only being a 1 out of 1,802, but still pretty high odds. I would also like to make a team called OnlyFins. Lastly, and probably the hardest goal out of all of this, is to catch a shiny Magikarp or Gyarados. With all of that out of the way, let's get started. The first thing I did was come up with an amazing name, and then make 4 characters before deleting them all and settling on the one I have now. I chose Johto because when I was a kid, it was the first game that I played. And if I am going to shiny hunt for a shiny Magikarp, I might as well do it at the Dragon's Den, where if I phase, I'll get a shiny Dratini. So before the challenge starts, I have to beat the first 4 gym leaders to get access to the GTL. So for that, I brought a secret tool to help me run through the game really quick. Most people will run a Crocodile that is EV trained, nature, and all that with like a Starmie maybe, help them speedrun it, but instead I brought the big guns. In baseline Pokemon, it is actually impossible to teach Magikarp any TMs, but in PokeMMO, you can actually teach Magikarp Dragon Rage. And Dragon Rage will always deal 40 damage, so this will help me run through the game pretty quickly. Now I know what you're thinking, isn't this cheating to send yourself a Magikarp and run through the game really quick? Well, yeah, probably. For me, the challenge is more about hitting my goals and making my money rather than blowing through the game again for the 50th time with my shitty starter. So while I run through that in the background, I think it's about time I tell you a little bit about myself. So I haven't played a lot of MMOs, but the first one and the one I played the most was Black Desert Online. In Black Desert Online, I was ranked top 5 in all of the life skills when I was actively playing it. The main games I play are Monster Hunter and League. I used to also play a lot of the mainline Pokemon games, but the one thing that really stopped me from playing as much as I would have liked is that when you get a cool comp shiny or a really rare catch, there's not really a good way to go out and share it to other people. This single thing is what kept me hooked on PokeMMO for so long. And I started in 2023, and I took a pretty long break after the Christmas event and came back around October of this year. I wouldn't say I'm a veteran player, only having around 800 hours, but for the Halloween raids, I was definitely in the top 1%. I did the Darkrai 5-star raid about 80 times across all of my accounts, as well as being one of the very first people in the world to clear the 4-star. I would like to use this series to help establish myself as a more solid player and become a little bit more known in the community here. So now with the challenge officially starting with all 4 of our gym badges and access to the GTL, the first thing I did was look for some nice, easy, cheap breeds. And right away I found this 30 attack, 31 speed female Magikarp listed 1 minute ago for only 4k. So my plan for this is to find a male breeder that is adamant and shares one of the 2 stats that we're looking for, being attack or speed. A little bit of looking and we find this 1,900 yen Magikarp that is adamant and 30 attack. So with this, we only need to use 1 band and 1 Everstone, and we'll get a male, adamant, 30 attack, and 31 speed, and we can check our profit. Once I had everything all up and ready, I realized that I didn't have enough money. So I sold my entire inventory, everything I didn't need, my repels, my revives, the berries I got from the storyline. I sold them all. And then I still didn't have enough. So I just started catching some Magikarp. And the first one I caught was pretty crazy. I ended up having 30 in attack, 30 in defense, and 30 in special attack, which is pretty good. The double attack stat does not make it as good, but we'll keep that in mind. Again, this is a little tricky as it has 30 in attack and 31 in special attack, so the right person would have to need it for a mixed attacker. Now, I could sell it for more, but to get the challenge rolling, I sold it for a nice cheap 25k to get everything started. And thankfully, because we priced it so cheap, it sold pretty quickly, which means we could finish our other breed that we were working on before. And after it hatched, the first thing I did is instantly go price check it. So checking to see what a male adamant 30 attack, 31 speed goes for, it looks like it's anywhere from 44 to 50k, right in that ballpark. There is a Magikarp that is pretty comparable, but it is female. So then the next one would be that male there. Ours is slightly worse, so I'd put it just a little bit underneath there, right around where that Arbok is. I ended up listing it for 47k, and I'm not looking for the fastest sale this time, I'm definitely looking to get my monies out of it. And with that, I headed to bed. I feel like I had a pretty productive day 1. We got our 4 gym badges, the GTL, and we started to make some money. To start day 2, we collected that 47k, and we cleared the 5th gym to get access to the Safari Zone. We also unlocked Fly to make our lives just a little bit easier. And now with the Safari Zone unlocked, I jumped right into it. Now normally a Pokeball is going to cost you 200 Pokeyen, but here it's 500 for 30, which makes it roughly 16 Pokeyen per ball. And with only 16 Pokeyen per ball, it is pretty easy to make your money back. If you didn't know, some abilities have an out-of-battle effect, like Intimidate, which gives you a 10% reduced odds of encounters. I didn't know if this was hurting my fishing odds, so I switched to Magikarp to be the lead of my party. I have heard some people say that Swarm affects fishing, but I've yet to do my own testing, so better safe than sorry. So after that first run, I really wanted to get my boxes organized before I started getting overwhelmed with Magikarp. So I made one box a couple away that is for breeds only. So anything that I have future plans for, I'm going to put in store here. Everything else is kind of free game for now. After that, I sorted by IVs and started to price check everything. We did get pretty lucky with the catches, and these are the prices I listed everything for. We did manage to catch a male with 31 defense and a female with 31 special defense. I bred them together to increase our profit a bit. And after that, I decided to take a break and catch up on some homework, and also watch some sumo. If you've never watched sumo, I definitely recommend it. Every odd month, there is a grand tournament that goes on for 15 days. And it is absolutely crazy. I definitely recommend tuning in and at least watching a couple bouts. That clip was from Midnight Sumo. Go check him out on Twitch and YouTube. After that few hour break, I came back and 2 Magikarp sold, equaling about 76,000 yen. Now with that yen, I was looking to do a bit of a YOLO breed, or gambling if you want. I was going to try and go for a 31 speed, 31 modest, and special attack Magikarp. But it would be a 50-50 if it high rolls to 31. Unfortunately, we lost the 50-50 and did not high roll the 31. It's still going to be worth money, but it would have been nice to get that nice juicy 31. We just ended up listing it for 40k, which is still pretty good. If we got that 31, it would have been more, but hey, I'll take it. After that, I did another safari run, and then I had to take a few days off for school and other things. And when I came back, I was pretty surprised to see that a lot had sold and we hit 100k so quickly. I think at this point I have around 4 hours on the account, and I was very happy with the progress I've made so far. We might not have hit any goals yet, but we did set the groundwork for our OnlyFins empire. I hope you guys stop by again to see our progress, and thanks for making it this far. If you have any constructive criticism or anything you want to say, let me know in the comments. Also, please sub to my OnlyFins challenge. I'll have all the videos here in a playlist. And thanks again for stopping by, Kings. I appreciate it.